Chapter 10. Jerash closed the notebook and slowly let out his breath. He had been told to do this when under stress in battle, and this was battle. He had been ordered to send his warriors to take the heart of the beast, but his warriors had failed. Now he must report this failure to the elders, who had taken great pains to explain what was at stake. He wished the task had been more in keeping with his team's normal missions, finding and killing all who stood in the way of a wholly united Islamic nation, not killing a writer who wrote heinous lies. The elder had called to see him last year, which was most rare. Jerish could count on one hand the number of times he had seen the man who had set his destiny. The first time was in 1947 when he was found trying to sneak into a Jewish M48A3 tank on the border of Lebanon. He was but a child of 10 or 12. He smiled as he remembered the look on the face of the tank driver as he readied the British Stein gun to spray the inside of the tank. The tank driver screamed out in Arabic, "Marashi," his name when he was a child. "It is I, Salem Amasr. Do not shoot. We are not the Israelis. Do not shoot." Maharishi still pulled the trigger. Lucky for Salem, the gun was set on single burst. Even though he recognized the voice to be one of his villagers, his mind and trigger finger did not leave the target until he saw the hand of another man, with a reddish symbol on his palm. He knew that symbol represented the seal of the elders. He knew this was one of the holy men who had called for the jihad to win back the lands for the Arabs that the British dogs had given away, land which was not theirs to give. "Maharishi," the man with green eyes yelled out, "Son of Allah, we fight the same devil." Maharishi dropped the rifle. The elder spoke to the man standing next to him in the shadow of the steel shell of the tank. "Do not harm him. Bring him to me, Allah willing, when you return from the raid." With that, he ducked out the side hatch, followed by a bleeding man who had been shot by the young boy. Salem Amasr lunged at the boy and grabbed the rifle, twisting it expertly out of his grasp. "Maharishi, you are a child. What are you doing here? You must go home now." "I have no home. The Jews killed everybody in the village. I am the only one left to kill the Jews and die in the jihad." "No, Maharishi, you have no skill for battle. Without skill, it is only a waste of a son of Allah. You must live to learn to fight. When you are a warrior, you will fight by my side. This I promise. Now go to my uncles in El Kahim. They will care for you until I get back. Allah willing. Go now. We are almost at the border of the Jew checkpoint." A voice behind Amasr that sounded not much older than Maharishi said, "We are short one man thanks to him wounding Al-Ihad. If he wants to die so badly, let him take the place of Al-Ihad. See if it is the true will of Allah for this child to join the jihad." Maharishi searched for the face of the voice in the shadows of the tank and noticed the bodies on the floor were stripped of their uniforms. The voice was wearing the uniform of a dead Israeli soldier. Salim Amasr, also dressed in the battle fatigues of the Israelis, turned to face the voice and said, "He is but a child." "Do you have a Jew jacket that will fit me?" Maharishi immediately cut in. Salim Amasr looked out of the tank port with a downward shake of his head. The voice in the shadow said, "Be quick, the border is just ahead." "It is not good to die without knowing whom your fellow warriors are," Maharishi said as he put on the blood-soaked tunic. The voice smiled. "I am Al-Hain, brother." That was the last word Al-Hain said as he flipped the trigger guard off the 50mm caliber water-cooled gun and walked the rounds up the side of the tin hut where an Israeli trooper stood and was cut in two. It was a kind death. The soldier died before any part of his body toppled to the ground. To hide his fear, Maharishi shouted, "Allah be praised." He leaned out over the rear hatch and blew up the jeep parked across from the hut. Again, surprise was a terrorist's allies. All 3 Israelis were killed instantly when his random bullets hit the fuel lorry behind the jeep. Salim Amasr noticed a change in the air pressure as he peeked out the forward hatch. He had sensed the heat of the rocket just as it was about to hit the tank. He yanked the lever to turn the cumbersome tank and drove the tank up the sand dune across the border back into Lebanon. As they dipped back into the safety of the desert night shadows, they gave praise to Allah for the victory, but that was many years ago. Now Jerash must report his failure.